Team Janners, what's happening? So I just wanted to do a video today about what happens if your friends push you out and how to deal with it. I've just watched a really quite sort of sad video on Facebook. It's by a company called On the Tools, and it's about a guy on the building site who's very disconnected from the people he works with. He's on the verge of a breakdown and he's having suicidal thoughts, but he doesn't know how to communicate it to people and talk about it. So I just wanted to do a video to talk about an experience I had, which was quite similar. When I was around 22 years old, I was house sharing with two friends, two females. They were one was 5 years older than me, one was a year older. And for about a year we all got on, everything was fine, we were good friends. We all used to socialise and everything seemed great. And then literally overnight, one of the ladies got a boyfriend. Within 2 weeks she'd moved out the house and I literally never heard from her again. She changed her number and didn't, she just disappeared. I thought, okay. And then the other one I was friends with, she sort of changed. She met this other group of people that I think because they'd all been to university and I hadn't, and she started hanging out with them. Maybe just didn't feel I was good enough to be a friend anymore. And I went from having a really good social life and being happy to not having anyone to hang about with and having no friends at all. Now, it was a horrible phase in my life. It was probably the worst part of my life that I ever went through, because I was also in a job I didn't like. I had very little money and I'd put on a bit of weight. I'd put on nearly 2 stone and I just wasn't in a good place mentally or physically. I also got quite a bad knee injury doing judo. That was why I put on weight, because I hurt my knee very badly and I couldn't train. Well, I was training sort of 3-4 times a week, very high intensity cardio and weights. All of a sudden I couldn't do that anymore for a long time, and everything, my whole world just changed. Now, when this happens, the way I dealt with it was at first I didn't really know what to do, so I just stayed in most weekends. I didn't have a social life for about 2 or 3 months. It was very depressing, and I never socialised with my work colleagues because a lot of them were married with children. We just didn't socialise as a company. It was quite sad, we just, other than once a year at Christmas, which was normally in some crap pub somewhere, which was horrible anyway. So after about 2 months of sitting in on my own, I decided to write a list of things to do to improve my life. I joined a gym when my knee was better and I was able to train again, and I basically wrote down things that I wanted to do that weren't sport related, so that if I got injured again, I wouldn't just be relying on having judo and the gym as a social life. I joined a creative writing class at my local library. I started going to coffee mornings, and I started going out on my own. I went to the cinema by myself. I went to nightclubs on my own. And eventually I did start to meet other people. It wasn't easy, and going out on your own, because I'm quite shy and introverted, and it's not easy doing that. It took me a long time to get used to it, but I did it, and I'm so glad I did, because it's better to go out there and try and mix with people than just sitting in your room feeling lonely, because it just makes you feel 10 times worse about yourself. So I started to rebuild my life. It did take a while. It doesn't happen overnight, I'm not going to lie. It takes a lot of hard work, and you've really got to put yourself out there and make an effort to go out, especially in the winter when it's cold, it's dark, and it's so tempting just to sit in every night, watch TV, but you're not going to make friends that way, and you have to get yourself out there. And probably about a year later, I moved back home with my dad because I had some financial issues that I was trying to deal with. And the other girl that I did live with, she bought a flat. I didn't really see her much after that, because after the way she treated me before, I didn't really want to be a friend, because I've always thought, if people are real friends, they won't just drop you like that. You have each other's back and you support each other, and if someone can drop you just simply for that reason of not feeling that you're cool enough, then I don't think that's a sign of a good friendship or someone who's loyal. So if this has happened to you, I know exactly what it's like. I'm sorry that has happened, but do what I did. Just write a list of things you want to improve, and just try and socialise as much as you can, even if it means going out on your own, because there's times I could go out with a group of people and I'd still feel lonely because I wasn't really connected to them and they weren't really real friends. But just get yourself out there, you know, go to a gig on your own, go to a concert, even eat on your own, you know, it doesn't matter. People do it all the time. No one's going to judge you or make you feel bad. And sometimes when you do see people in big groups and you think, oh, they've got a great social life, but a lot of the time they're not always real friends, you know, they can just be acquaintances, and there can often be a lot of bitching and backstabbing within the group, and, you know, it's not always how it looks on the surface. So yeah, so just remember, your real friends will stand by you and they will be there for you. And if people do drop you, then sadly, not everyone was meant to be in your life forever, and sometimes it's the universe's way of just saying, hey, okay, they've been in your life for a while, but now we're directing you to something better. And I'm a strong believer in that things do happen for a reason. So if they have left you, don't chase after them, just move on. You know you're a good person inside, and just have faith that better things will come your way. I promise you.